This is recording 13. I'm back inside 47 Marginal Road. I came back tonight because of the typewriter. I need to explain. When I left here 2 days ago, or I think it was 2 days ago, the hours have been doing something strange. I photographed a piece of paper I found tucked under the desk in the back room. Partial typing, a sequence. 7 characters, 7R23F9T. I thought it was a filing reference, some kind of catalog notation from whoever used this building before. But last night I was cross-referencing the photographs I've taken against the grid map, the one with the crescent marks, and I noticed something. The columns on that map, the horizontal rows, they're labeled. Not obviously. Someone pressed the labels faintly into the paper, almost as if they didn't want them to be seen directly. And when I looked at the column headers under the lamp, the groupings matched. RFT, 3 of the 7 labels on that grid. That sequence isn't a file reference, it's a coordinate set. I'm here to locate what that coordinate marks on the map. And to do that, I need to go back to the room with the typewriter and examine what else is on that machine. There was more on the page. I didn't photograph all of it. I didn't think I needed to. That was a mistake I'm not going to repeat. The front room is the same as I left it. I say that, and I'm immediately aware of how little that phrase means here. Same isn't a reliable state in this building. Last visit, the shelf near the entrance had 4 ledgers on it. Tonight, there are 3. I've learned not to investigate the absences before I've secured the reason I came. You investigate the absence, you lose the hour, and then the hour takes something else. The back room is through the narrow hallway. There's no light back there beyond what comes through the single window, and tonight there's cloud cover. I'm using the small flashlight. Battery's fine. I checked before I came in. Here. The typewriter is where I left it, near the center of the desk. Manual machine. Older than the building, I think. Or at least older than the filing systems that were running out of this room. The keys are worn unevenly. Whoever used this typed heavily on the left side. The paper is still in the platen. I advanced it a little when I was here before, not thinking. I'm going to roll it back carefully and see what the full page contains. All right, there's more than I saw. The sequence is in the middle of the page, 7R23F9T, but above it there's partial text. The ribbon is faded, so I'm going to read slowly and try to get this right. It says, and I'm reading carefully, aligned at interval, position confirmed, document deposit at. And then a line I can't make out clearly. The ribbon failed in the middle of that word. Then a line break, and below that the sequence, and then below the sequence, 2 more lines. First line reads, do not attempt cross-reference before anchor is established. Second line reads, Morrison has the anchor document. If she has gone, it is with her. I'm going to say that again for the record. Morrison has the anchor document. If she has gone, it is with her. Hannah. This is about Hannah Morrison. I need to think about this carefully. This typewriter sheet was here before I arrived. It was here when I first found this room, which means whoever wrote this was working from this room, knew about Hannah by last name, and connected her to something called an anchor document. Something significant enough that they tracked whether she was still present. The phrasing bothers me. If she has gone, not if she has left. Gone is a different word. Gone is the word you use when you're not certain someone can still leave under their own power. I need to record the physical condition of this page. It's standard typing paper, cream-colored, brittle at the edges. The typeface is consistent throughout the visible text. Same machine, probably same session. No corrections, no strike-throughs. Whoever typed this knew what they were writing before they wrote it. This wasn't drafting. This was recording. The key I've been carrying, the one labeled 47, I've had it since I first found my way into the restricted section. I'm mentioning it now because I noticed this desk has a locked drawer, bottom left, and I've been aware of it since the first time I was in here. I've been aware of it and I've been ignoring it because I kept telling myself The key was for the door, for the main entrance, for something architectural. But the door to this building was unlocked when I arrived. The door has never been locked when I arrived. I'm taking the key out now. The key is brass, small. The label is stamped, not written, which means it was produced deliberately, not marked after the fact. The lock on this drawer, I'm crouching down to look at it. The lock is the same era as the key, not original to the desk. The desk hardware is older. This lock was installed later, on purpose. It opened. There are 3 things in this drawer. First, a folded map. Smaller than the grid map I've been working from, but the same paper stock, same faint crescent marks in the lower margin. I'm unfolding it. This is a section I haven't seen before. It covers the area around the train station. The old station, not the one in current use. There are 4 locations marked with small X's, and they're connected by a line that runs to a 5th point. The 5th point has a circle around it and the words .0 written in a different hand than the X markers. Smaller. Careful lettering. I think I know that handwriting. I think that's Hannah's handwriting. I'm not certain. I don't have enough of her writing yet to be certain. But the letter formation, the way the capital P curves back on itself before the crossbar, I've seen that before. On the catalog card I found the last time I was in the station, the card that appeared between pages in the station journal. She wrote that card. I need to keep moving. I'm recording this, putting it down, not getting distracted. Second item in the drawer, a small envelope, sealed with no name on the outside, just a date, November 14th, no year. I'm not opening it yet. I want to note it, document it, and come back. If I open it now, I'll spend the next 30 minutes on whatever's inside, and I'll miss the third item. Third item, a single catalog card, plain white. Archive issue. I recognize the stock, the ruled lines, the faint pre-printed category headers along the top. This one's been filled in by hand. Under subject, 7R23F9T. Under location, .0, lower annex, under date filed, crossed out. Written over in different ink, not yet. Under notes, 2 lines. First line, cross-reference Morrison HT, anchor document held in trust. Second line, do not proceed to .0 without confirming she is active. Active. Not alive, active. That word is doing a lot of work, and I don't want to interpret it yet because I'll get it wrong. I've gotten things wrong in these recordings before, and the errors compound. What I can say factually is that this catalog card links the sequence, 7R23F-9T, to .0 directly. It links .0 to Hannah, and it uses the word active to describe a condition that matters enough to be written as a prerequisite for approach. The map in this drawer shows where .0 is, or where it was. I'm aware those may not be the same thing. I'm copying the map, tracing it with the notepad I brought. I want to leave the original here. Removing archive items from their locations has consequences I've documented across the last several episodes, and I'm not prepared to test that again. Not tonight, but I need this information with me. While I'm tracing the grid map I've been carrying, the larger one, I'm going to put the 2 side by side and see if the sections connect. They do. The region on the small map, the area around the old station, that's the lower left quadrant of the large grid. The X markers on the small map align with, I'm counting, grid intersections 7R, 23F, and 9T. 3 of the 5 locations marked. The other 2 X's don't match any labeled intersection I can find. Either those labels have been removed from the large map, or those positions fall outside the grid's edge. The 5th point, .0. It's off the large grid entirely. It would be, if the large map extended, roughly 2 inches past the bottom margin, past the edge of the paper. Whoever made the large grid map stopped before they reached .0. I don't know if that was an oversight or a decision. I'm done tracing. The copy isn't perfect, but it has the coordinates and the relative positions and Hannah's handwriting on the .0 label. I've copied that carefully. I want to be able to compare it later. I need to deal with the envelope. November 14th, no year. The seal is old adhesive. It's barely holding. I can open this without damaging anything. I'm being careful. Single sheet inside, folded twice. It's a letter. I'm going to read it directly. The handwriting this isn't Hannah's. This is a different hand. Angular. The letters press hard into the paper. It reads, "To whoever holds this key, you are not supposed to find it this quickly. The sequence will take you to point 0, but the approach must be correct or the location will not hold. There is a woman connected to this work. Her name is in the ledger. Find her notes before you proceed. She has seen the annex. She knows the order of entry. Without the order, point 0 reverts. Do not test this. Do not assume the approach is intuitive. It is not. The archive does not preserve everything. It preserves what it chooses. What it has chosen to show you is not random. You were brought here deliberately. So was she. Whether you arrive together or separately is not decided. But both of you arriving is required. One alone is not sufficient. Burn this letter or leave it sealed. Do not carry it out of this room. Both of us arriving is required. One alone is not sufficient. I'm reading this as it sounds, which is that whatever waits at point 0, the annex, whatever is in the annex, it cannot be accessed by one person. Not because of a physical barrier, because of something else. Some condition that requires 2 investigators. 2 people who know what the archive is. Me and Hannah. If she's real, if she's current, if active means what I'm hoping it means, I'm leaving the letter in the drawer, not burning it. I can't justify destroying archive material on the instruction of archive material. That's circular, and I don't trust circular. But I'm leaving it here. I have the small map copy. I have the transcription of the typewriter page. I have the catalog card notation in my notes. The sequence 7R23F9T leads to the old train station. 3 of the 5 marked locations are there. Point 0 is beyond the grid's edge in the direction of, I'm orienting this, south. Past the station, further south. I need Hannah's notes before I go any further. The letter said she knows the order of entry. Without the order, point 0 reverts, whatever that means. Her notes. Where are her notes? I found her handwriting on catalog cards. I've seen her name in the ledger. I found her initials. I think they were hers, pressed into the corner of the map a few visits back. But I've never found a dedicated record in her hand, a document that belongs to her the way Michael's journal belonged to him. It exists. The typewriter page says she holds the anchor document. The catalog card says cross-reference Morrison, held in trust. It exists, and it's somewhere in the archive, and I haven't found it yet. Maybe I haven't been looking in the right places. I've been focused on this building, on 47 Marginal Road. But the archive doesn't exist in a single location. It appears where it needs to appear. Maybe Hannah's records are somewhere else entirely. Somewhere I haven't checked because I've been assuming the investigation was contained to this building. I'm going to leave now and come back to the grid map under better light. I want to plot the full route from here to the station, from the station toward point 0's location, and see if there are archive access points I've been overlooking. The key goes back in my pocket. Obviously. The key goes back in my pocket. Hold on. The shelf near the entrance. 3 ledgers when I came in. There are 4 now. The 4th one wasn't here. I checked. I stood in front of that shelf and I counted 3 and I noted the absence of the 4th because there used to be 4. That's how I know there are supposed to be 4. The 4th is back. It's placed differently from the others. Spine out, same as the rest, but the spine is unmarked. The other 3 have handwritten labels. This one has nothing. No date range, no category notation. I'm pulling it out. It's lighter than the others. Not many pages, or the pages are thinner stock. Or, the first page, there's a name written on the inside cover. In the top right corner, in small, careful letters. The same hand I saw on the point 0 label of the small map. The same capital P with the crossbar. H.T. Morrison. This is her record.